Good afternoon, morning, or whatever time of day it is that you're watching. Welcome to our Sports Roundtable. I'm Shaquem Holloway with the news. To my far right is Javon Dickerson. To his left is Brian Fazio. To his left is Alex Smith. We're here today to talk about Todd Gurley being suspended from the NCAA. And basically, Todd Gurley been suspended because he allegedly signed autographs worth up to about 80 autographs, worth up to about $400. Javon, we're gonna start with you. Open us up on your opinion on the topic.
But my opinion is, I believe that college athletes should be paid. Universities make a ton of money off these athletes, and they're not able to get the money back in full. People always say, well, they get a free education, they get free this, they get free that. But the tuition or the cost for tuition of books or whatever, I don't think it matches the money that the universities receive off these athletes. A couple years ago, Johnny Manziel, for example, Johnny Manziel came in for Texas A&M their first year in the SEC, and after 2 years, I read a report on Dallas Morning News that they made over, $740 million just off the 2 years that he was there. And of course, we know Johnny Manziel is another person that got in trouble for signing autographs. And as far as $740 million, and he's not able to get one penny of that, I feel like there's something wrong with athletes that's going out there and risking their bodies and risking their health and not getting paid. I'm not saying they should get paid as far as what pro athletes get, but they should get some type of compensation, because we know not all of them are, just because they're getting free education, not all of them are able to buy the things that they need, maybe clothes, gas money, different things like that.
Alec, I know you have, kind of wavering opinions on this. What are your thoughts on it?
No, yeah, I definitely agree with Javon. I don't necessarily think that they should be getting, six-figure salaries by any means, because the reality of it is depending on the school that they go to and whatever, at the end of the day, they are still getting a free education, which, depending on the school, that can be, tens of thousands of dollars that they're not having to pay simply because they're a great athlete. I think the biggest thing is what the NCAA has done is they've coined this term student athlete, putting the fact that they're a scholar and they're a student before the fact that they're an athlete. But I can promise you that if you can go and look at any sort of, not even just football, but in baseball and with the swim team or soccer, whatever it may be, is that their workload compared to their practice schedule is probably extremely skewed. And I'm assuming that they're doing a lot more work on the field and in the locker room, in the gym, than they probably are in the classroom. So I think the idea of a student athlete is a little ridiculous in my opinion. And I would say that probably some sort of a stipend or something, at least just enough to let them live, and then some possible compensation as far as the royalties and everything, as far as when their likeness is used in games and in commercials and things like that, and then also with jersey sales.
Okay, so we have Javon. You're very pro athletes getting paid. You're a little bit in the middle. You think they deserve some sort of compensation, though. And Brian, we know that
and there's me. As you can see by the fact that I'm the only one with pen and paper, I'm a little more old-fashioned. The athletes shouldn't get paid to play in college because they already are. As someone who is still paying college tuition, I can assure you there is plenty of money involved in earning education from the University of Georgia, from Georgia State, from Georgia Perimeter. Doesn't matter where you go, you're paying a lot of money. So that is one form of payment. Another point, I got a couple points on this. Another point, athletes shouldn't get paid because the institution is part of the reason they're there. When Isaiah Crowell, for instance, went to the University of Georgia, had the puppy and the whole thing, everybody paid attention to Isaiah Crowell. Then when he stopped going to the University of Georgia, please somebody tell me where he went to after that. Nobody knows because it wasn't popular. There you go. The third, if you start paying, may hit Georgia fans especially hard, you're paying Todd Gurley a lot. That means your Nick Chubbs, Sony Michel's, Keith Marshall's won't want to go there because the stud Todd Gurley's already getting all the stipend. So now they're going to Georgia State, and when Todd Gurley gets suspended, Nick Marshall gets hurt, all your depth is gone because other players are chasing the dollar at Georgia State and Georgia Southern and other lesser schools. Well, traditionally lesser schools. Fourth, a lot of these star athletes who are going to be getting these stipends leaving early. Todd Gurley's not staying for 4 years, so that means pay it back into school. Not going to happen. If you have doctors who are going there, same level, Todd Gurley is elite in his study, and his study is football. Doctors, the people who are elite in their studies, such as the medical field, they're going to go all 4 or 8 years, however long the University of Georgia or wherever likes to keep them. When they come back, they're gonna donate a lot of money to that school, have a building named after him, whatever. You're not gonna have the Todd Gurley Building for Research, because he's only gonna be there 2 years. They're not gonna put that money back into the school. So that's another way that everybody says, oh, the universities make a ton of money off of these athletes.
Well, you obviously can talk about this topic, for days. So we're going to end it on that note, and thank you for joining.